Let's go to Christine in Maidenhead. Christine, good evening.
Oh, hello, Daniel. You said you weren't going to take any more car questions, but this is about a car incident. I was a passenger in a car which reversed in a local village car park and about 1.5 meters, and the person behind us also drove forward, and there was contact between the two cars, okay? At the time, the cars were both inspected. There was no dent, no dimple, nothing, and it was agreed there was no damage. It was a very low impact. The cars weren't moving. They exchanged. I wasn't the driver. I was the passenger in the car, and they exchanged details, not insurances, but both local people. And 10 days later, the other driver has submitted a claim for whiplash injuries, headaches, shoulder aches, inability to use her arms, and leg injuries. Now, the impact would have been so low, they'd only moved, both of them, about 1 meter or 1.5 meters. How do we go forward in challenging what is obviously a fraudulent claim?
Well, you say it's obviously a fraudulent claim. In fact, whiplash occurring at very low-speed accidents is much more common than people think. Whiplash it's just an injury to the neck when your head is thrown forwards, then snapped back, or vice versa. And it happens at high-speed incidents, but also in low-speed bumps.
I mean, the speed must have been less than 1 mile an hour. I mean, probably 0.2 miles an hour.
What you need to do is pass the claim to your insurers.
Well, the other driver has been in touch with my driver's insurance company and put this claim in immediately.
Yep. And what's your problem with this? I can hear you're angry.
I'm angry because I was obviously there, and I was a passenger in the car. I didn't suffer any. I couldn't even feel the bump. So what this other driver is claiming is fraudulent. My anger is that this is a fraudulent claim. I mean, the airbag didn't go off. There's absolutely not a dimple, not a scratch.
Christine, I know you don't believe me, but whiplash injuries do happen with very low speed collisions. It's just a medical fact. They do.
Well, and how would I mean? Because the driver who was driving me will, of course, lose no claims.
Yeah.
It'll be
so only thing. Sorry, only one of us can talk at a time. Do you want to carry on? I think you've made your point, but if you've got more to say, go ahead.
No, your advice is what, please, Daniel?
Okay. You need to pass it to the insurers. Now, insurers can get a bit sniffy about whiplash claims from low-speed impacts because they want to root out fraudulent or exaggerated claims. But if the individual who's put in the claim has evidence from her GP...
And she would need medical evidence.
She will need medical evidence. A note from a GP is normally enough, but sometimes people get specialist reports. If she's got one, if the amount she's claiming is modest, the probability is the insurers will just say, you know what, it's part of the cost of doing business. Because insurers cannot have very expensive fraud trials over £2,000 when this happens.
This is very detrimental to the driver of my car losing a no claims going forward.
Yes, and
with a fraudulent claim by the other driver.
Yes, and
she said she was fine. Okay, sorry.
Christine, do you want to say anything else? Because after you say your next comment, I'm going to talk.
Advice, please, Daniel.
Right. If the insurer decides that it's going to pay out, your friend will lose her no claim. There is almost nothing she can do. She can sue the insurers for an irrational decision, because insurers aren't allowed to make irrational decisions. They're only allowed to make reasonable decisions. But that's an almost impossible claim to win. Your friend would have to prove that this was a fraudulent claim, and that's going to cost her tens of thousands in medical evidence and legal fees, even assuming she's right and she wins. Way more than the value of the lost no claims benefit. The insurance company, if it's an insurance company that doesn't like fraudulent claims, will say, sue us. But then your friend's going to get sued. Does she want that?
Right. But you're saying that the other driver does need to provide medical evidence.
They need to provide some medical evidence, but it can be as simple as a GP report.